Let's get to some govs that Tennessee fans should keep an eye on. And there's a reason you should keep an eye on them this year, because you don't know if they could be Vols next year. Austin Peay is an in-state school. With the transfer portal nowadays, we're seeing players play well at lower levels and move up. So this is kind of, I mean, the game's going to get out of hand, but this is a little bit of a scouting venture, I believe, that when you see the MTSUs of the world, when you see the Austin Peays of the world, you may see a guy that has developed late and has suddenly become a great athlete in his late teens instead of maybe as a high schooler when he was evaluated as a prospect. So get me rolling on the govs that we should keep an eye on, Caleb. Who's number 5 on your list? 5 govs to keep an eye on in the Austin Peay game. And it's brought to you in part by Herald Group Security Solutions, leadership, experience, specialization, addressing problems through unique mission-specific mitigation technique, also making your children safer one school at a time. Encourage your administrator to reach out to Herald Group Security Solutions. We know school shootings is a terrible thing. They can help avoid that with their school security solution. So what gov you got, Caleb?
Well, I love the name the govs, by the way. I love that short form.
I hate it. I think it's stupid.
Well, I got to just for some history real quick, in 2 seconds. Austin Peay was established during the governorship of Governor Austin Peay in the 1920s. That's why they're called the Governors. How much of a narcissist do you have to be to establish a college named after you when you're the governor?
Pretty bad.
That's like Teddy Roosevelt putting his face on Mount Rushmore, which he was instrumental in.
Yeah, but if I started the university, the nickname would be the Hookers. All right, so what do you got? What gov do I need to keep an eye on?
Okay, so number 5 is Corey Chapman, a defensive back. He is a do-it-all secondary player. Had 7 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, 2 picks, 2 pass breakups, and 67 tackles in 2022. Look, their defense wasn't good against Southern Illinois last week, but that was mainly due to turnovers on the offensive side. He still had half a sack and broke up a pass last week. So Corey Chapman is a pretty versatile threat at defensive back.
All right, I can roll with that. Potential future Vol. This game would have been last year, then certainly because Tennessee needed all kinds of help in the defensive backfield. Who is next?
So Chandler Curtin, the right guard, he was a freshman All-American at the FCS level last year. And it's funny you bring it up. Javonte Spraggins is probably gone this year. Tennessee's going to be looking for some right guards next year. Freshman All-American at the FCS level. Not crazy to think they couldn't emerge into a Power 5 player at some point.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about castaways from Austin Peay either. I am talking about legit players that make the move up, and we've seen those. I mean, in some ways, I would say Keenan Pili is that type of player. I think going from BYU to Tennessee is proof that he was better than evaluated. That's why he went to BYU, and it was close by. But then he goes to Tennessee, which is a step up. So not taking Austin Peay castoffs, but Austin Peay guys that are really good. Who else should we keep an eye on? I have a feeling that there is a tight end in the mix with a fantastic last name.
Yes, Jordan Goko. And he's going to be
there. I'm Coco for Go-Go catches. Go-Go catches.
Cuckoo for Goko puffs.
Yes.
So last year, their main receiver was Drake McCree, but he's transferred to Texas Tech.
See, there's an example. There's an example of a guy who moved up.
Yes, exactly. And he transferred to the wrong school. Austin Peay may beat Texas Tech this year. I'm sorry. Bad joke.
But you would say Texas Tech's a better program than Austin Peay, right?
Yes, I was obviously kidding. Texas Tech is a better program. But yeah, no, he had 3 catches for 23 yards in the opener. Look, with questions still out there about Tennessee in the secondary, don't sleep on somebody like a tight end. All of their receivers are like in the 5'7" to 5'10" range. I think the defensive backs will handle them fine. But, a tight end could be a mismatch for Tennessee in pass coverage. So just watch out. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, and if you think about it, Tennessee loses Jacob Warren, and then McCallan Castles, I believe, just has 1 year left. You might want to double check me on that. So You never know. Now, I like a lot what they've got in Ethan Davis and the young man out of Europe. I like both of their upside. I especially like Ethan Davis. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I think Ethan Davis will be the most explosive tight end in Tennessee football history.
Whoa.
Is that
That's out there. That's out there, bro.
Am I Skip Bayless all of a sudden? No, I think athletically, I don't think
you would only be Skip Bayless if Ethan Davis had like one catch next year and you said it doesn't matter, he was still the most explosive because somehow he made everybody else explosive around him. That would be the Skip Bayless move.
I think the best overall tight end will always be Jason Witten. Wasn't a great blocker, but he was a shield blocker, and he did play physical, and he was a very, very good tight end. But I think Ethan Davis is going to be a step faster, and once he gets the game down, I think he's going to be an Antonio Gates type of player, if you remember him, without the steroids and without getting too big and getting addicted to looking at yourself in the mirror. So I think that Ethan Davis, I'm going to, and I'll be the first to tell you that I'm wrong if I am wrong. Yeah, I make predictions sometimes, but I feel pretty good about this one. Now, part of the reason I feel good about this one is because Tennessee's tight ends, other than Jason Witten, are who? I mean,
well, what if Brad Cottom if he wasn't hurt in 2007? Because Brad Cottom was a big threat.
If some butts and candies and nuts, what a Merry Christmas we'd have there, Caleb.
Even it was during a bad era, Michael Rivera was pretty good too at Tennessee. There was some,
but he's not in a Witten category.
No, he's not. Ethan Wolf should have been good, but Butch Jones didn't know how to use him. So I mean, how many times have I said that on this show?
Yeah, I will give you Ethan Wolf could have been analogous to Jason Witten if used right. I'll give you that one. I will definitely give you that one. Wolf with the knee. Don't forget how to spell that. Tyler Long at linebacker. Another transfer is maybe Austin Peay's the new destination school in the state. I don't think so,
but he transferred from Norfolk State. Had 5 sacks, a forced fumble, an interception, and a pass breakup at 106 tackles. And in the opener, he did have 17 tackles, only 2 solo, but he was all over the field. So, again, I don't think Tennessee really has to worry, but just expect to hear his name called a decent bit on Saturday.
And we didn't mention Chris Brown, who I love, by the way.
The tight end. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, love me some Chris Brown. And then number 1, the quarterback, Mike, what's the dealio, Leo?
What's the dealio?
What's the dealio? As a quarterback, I mean, if they're going to keep it close, he's got to play at a high level. Tell me why he's so good. First, I want to tell you Hemp House, the premier hemp dispensary online with a wide variety, great selection, and strict standards to ensure that you only receive the best in CBD or Delta products. We'll have a promo code soon. Go to hemphousechat.com, hemphousechat.com. And what if, I'm just saying, what if we had a CBD treat? Let me ask the message board that was in a power tea that got you in a really good mood, was orange. And what if it was called the Big Orange Crunch and it was available in our soon to be launched merch store? What if? Would that be a good idea?
That would be a great idea.
Thank you. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We got things happening. Tell me about Mike. What's the dealio?
So Mike Diliello, you confuse me with the way you're doing that now, because I would say that he was a Division I quarterback, came from MTSU, and last year he did throw for over 2,400 yards, and he ran for over 400 yards. So he is a dual threat. Did throw 2 picks in the opener, though. I don't think he's really any threat to Tennessee on Saturday. I'm just saying that if he's to make this a game at all, he will have to be a dual threat and kind of make this interesting. But yeah, keep an eye on him. Put it this way, he's going to be better than Tony Muskett.
Yes. Rocky Top Tom says Big Orange Kush maybe is the new nickname. That's not the worst in the world. Kush. Yeah. Lance Pepper. It's weird. I know a guy named Lance Lepper. David Martin was a tight end, right? He was in the NFL. And if you remember a Monday Night Football game for the Packers, John Madden went crazy talking about how they got this guy. And I'm here to tell you, boom, bam, boom. He's going to be great. Well, it's because they moved him to tight end because they were paying him to do so. He refused to move to tight end while at Tennessee, which was a huge, monstrous mistake. He should have agreed to make the move because he wasn't quite fast enough to play receiver. Had he been a tight end, I will say this, had he been a tight end the day he walked on campus and developed those skills, David Martin, not exaggerating, David Martin would have been the second best tight end in Tennessee history to Jason Witten, would have made a couple of Pro Bowls, would have been an all-SEC tight end. I kid you not, but he absolutely refused to move. It's one of the few times that I've seen a player refuse to move and they kept him on the team. I mean, usually it's they jettison you out.
Here's the crazy part, too, because remember, after Peerless Price in 98, no disrespect to Cedric Wilson in 99, but I think Tennessee was a little bit shorthanded in how they could distribute the ball to receivers in 99 and 2000. Don't you think David Martin could have helped T. Martin out a lot had he played tight end in 99 and given T. Martin another option?
Brother, I'm with you. I mean, everybody in the program thought he should move to tight end. Everybody, every analyst thought he should move to tight end, but he did not. I mean, I think he is right up there with Alvin Kamara's as far as untapped potential at Tennessee. I think Kamara would have been an all-SEC player. Who are some of the others that you would throw out there? Not to get off on a tangent, because I do want to get to this T. Martin topic, but who are some other players? And fill us in on the message board. Let me hear a couple of you, because who are some players that just had unfilled potential? Another one I would add, because of injury, not his fault, Michael Munoz. I never thought he was the dominant player that he would have been if not for the injuries. Who else would you float out there as guys that did not reach their potential?
Man, I'm just going through the Butch Jones era at this point because I'm thinking Josh Malone, Pig Howard. Now, Pig Howard did get dismissed from the team, but still, it's a who's who of misused players from that time period. John Kelly. It's bad. Now, if I were to go to the former years, you know, when I watched, I've since changed my opinion. I did feel that they were criminally underusing Montario Hardesty when he was playing for Fulmer, and I felt I was proven right when Lane Kiffin came in and made him the starter. But you pointed out to me that they wanted Montario Hardesty out there; they just couldn't get him out there because he couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, he had my 50-year-old knees.